Everyone, so we have another AMC problem. So this was AMC 12 problem. So we have a segment through the focus of a parabola with the vertex v is perpendicular to the FV and intersect the parabola in two different points. And then based on this, we like to find the cosine of an angle. So it's not obvious if you don't really draw a picture. So let's go ahead and try drawing a parabola. So which is why we kind of need to remember at least basics of the parabola. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw a curve just to remind. So this guy, let's assume our vertex, right? And definition of the parabola, there is like a line which is gonna be called directrix. And any point on the parabola when you choose from distance between any point on the curve to that line, and then there is a special point that's called focus. Distance between the focus to that point should be the same. So for example, if I want to take this point as my focus, so the distance between this to this vertex, whatever this distance, will be the same from this point to the directrix line. So meaning that I could draw a line that will pass through that, something like this. So it's not really accurate, but at least does tell us what's going on. So if you connect this to the focus and then this to this line, so that should give us a straight line. Okay, so let's draw that. Right, and then as soon as I have this, so let's show these guys are equal. I'm gonna call this is X unit, and then this is gonna be X as well. Okay, so that's just the definition of the parabola. So if I say this is X, this is gonna be X. But again, this is not the special point. So we can have any point on this curve. So and let's read the question what's going on. It says there is like segment through F. So we are gonna have a segment going through this point, and that is perpendicular to FV. So this is FV. So we are gonna have something perpendicular. That should be something like this. So let's go ahead and draw that. It will be something like this, right? It says a segment. Maybe I should make a straight line, but I mean, I should just I need a segment. So it will be something like this. So a bit higher. Okay, so then based on this, we know that actually we are given that this is the 90 degrees, and we know that since this is like symmetric over this line, so that distance and this distance is the same. And by the definition of the parabola, if I choose this point, for example, and find the distance between that to that line, which is our directrix, right? And this distance and this distance has to be same. And then we know this distance and same as this one because that's symmetric over the vertex. So the line that goes through a vertex, so or the focus. And if I just draw the other part, so I have something like this, right? So I hope this is gonna give us something. If you do have some idea at this point, so it's better to like stop the video and kind of complete the rest on your own, if you can figure the rest. So this is gonna be same as this one because the distance between this point to the directrix should be same as that point because this point, let's say this is A, and this point B are symmetric. They are equal distance from the focus. Okay, and also since we are told this is like perpendicular, so we know this is also 90. So this segment and this line is parallel. So we can just say these are 90s as well. Okay, this is really helpful because if this is 2x, that means this is 2x, and then this is also 2x, and this is also 2x, and this is already 2x. So now we can just use the something we can, but we are looking for the cosine of AVB. So AVB. So maybe we should draw that segment to see what's going on. So if I draw this point from this line to this vertex, and then that is another one, and we can just see what we can do from there. So we are looking for the cosine value of this angle. If you do know some identities like double angle identities especially, you can kind of go from there as well, but let's not use that identity yet. So we can just use the law of cosine. The reason why we can use, because it's like we are looking for the cosine, and the law of cosine has the cosine of something. And also, you know, this is x, this is 2x, so we can use the Pythagorean to get this hypotenuse, which is like x squared, and 2x squared is like total like 5x squared. So this should be x root 5. And the same idea, this is also x root 5. And if you remember, like whenever you have a right triangle that has the 1:2 ratio with the legs, you can just remember the hypotenuse root 5 times of the smaller leg, which is something you can do in your head immediately, but that's the case. And now let's use the law of cosine. Law of cosine was telling us a square, which is the square of one side, equals square of the sum of the other two sides minus twice the product of the other two sides times cosine of the angle that is opposite to this side, which is, if I say this AB as my side, so in this case, that will be the case, but let's write it as A for now. This is the law of cosine. And now I'll take this angle and then opposite side, I'm going to consider as my A, which is going to be 2x. So 2x plus 2x, actually 4x. So the 4x squared equals, I'll take this is B and this is C, so that will give us x root 5 squared and then x root 5 squared minus 2 times x root 5 times x root 5 times cosine of AVB. Okay, so I'm going to call this is alpha. Okay, this is alpha basically. And if you square that 16x squared, and then this is like, this was x root 5 squared, which is going to be 5x squared. And then this is also 5x squared. Minus x squared, like root 5 times root 5 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. So that should give us 10x squared times cosine alpha. So we do have like 5 and 5 add up to 10x squared, subtract from 16. So you will get 6x squared equals negative 10x squared times cosine alpha. So we can divide both sides by x squared because x is a positive number, so the square is also positive. So we are like clear that that's not 0 anyway. So then x squared will cancel. And then we can even divide by negative 10. So you will get like 6 over 10, 6 over negative 10 for the cosine alpha. This is negative 3 over 5, and that's the answer, choice D. So this is the way that we can do, but there are some other ways. Like let's say you couldn't figure this out immediately, right? And if you are on a test and then you like to really get the answer because you have the choice anyway, you may like get a parabola, like any concrete one, maybe not just the simplest one. And like you can just like draw that, and then based on that, get what is given with some concrete values. Like what I mean by that, choose y equals, I don't know, 2x squared, and just draw that and see if you can get something out of that picture. But I just didn't use that specific case. I just made it general. So I hope this was clear. So I'll see you in the next video.